The worst thing you can do when someone underestimates you is prove them wrong. Sounds backwards, right? But arguing, explaining, defending yourself, that's exactly what keeps you stuck. What actually makes someone regret doubting you is something most people never try. And once you understand it, the way you handle disrespect changes permanently. Let's get into it. Over 2,000 years ago, southern Italy. Rome just sent 86,000 soldiers to crush one man, Hannibal Barca. They outnumbered him nearly 2-1. Roman generals were already celebrating. To them, this wasn't even a battle. It was cleanup. Hannibal saw all of it. The arrogance, the overconfidence, the assumption that bigger means better. So here's what he did. He placed his weakest troops right in the center of his formation, right where Rome would hit first. The Romans charged, pushed through the middle, thought they were winning. They weren't. They were walking into a trap. Hannibal's flanks closed in from both sides. The deeper Rome pushed, the tighter the noose got. By the end of that single afternoon, Rome lost over 50,000 men, one of the worst military defeats in history. And it happened because they assumed they'd already won. Here's the thing, Hannibal didn't beat Rome with strength. He beat them with their own arrogance. He turned their assumptions into a weapon against them. That's what we're talking about today. If you're already seeing where this is going, hit that like button. It helps more people find this. And subscribe because we're just getting started. Point 1. Stop defending yourself. Here's the first pattern that keeps people stuck. Someone underestimates you, dismisses you, talks over you, and your first instinct? Defend yourself. Explain. Prove them wrong right there. Here's why that backfires. The second you start explaining yourself to someone who already decided you're not enough, you just confirmed their position. You gave them the power to put you on trial. And now you're the defendant. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said something that still hits 2,000 years later. Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. That includes people who disrespect you. When you rush to prove yourself, you're telling them their opinion controls your behavior. You're handing them the remote, the fix. Next time someone underestimates you, don't argue, don't explain. Just nod, maybe even smile. Then go do exactly what they said you couldn't. Silence after disrespect is one of the most powerful psychological moves you can make. It creates uncertainty. And uncertainty is what shakes people. Point 2. Turn disrespect into fuel. But not the way you think. This next one is sneaky, because most people get it backwards. You've heard use the hate as motivation 1,000 times. Sounds good. But here's what actually happens for most people. They carry that anger around like a backpack full of rocks. It weighs them down. It distracts them. It eats at them in the shower at 11 p.m. That's not fuel. That's a leak. Dr. Elia Crum at Stanford found something interesting. When people reframe a stressful situation, like being doubted, as a challenge instead of a threat, their body chemistry literally changes. More growth hormones, less cortisol, better focus, better performance. It's not about ignoring the disrespect. It's about what your brain does with it. Threat response says, they think I'm nothing. Maybe they're right. Challenge response says, good. Now I have something to push against. Same situation, completely different outcome. When someone underestimates you, catch yourself before the spiral. Ask one question, is this a threat to me or fuel for me? That one reframe changes the entire chemical response in your body, not metaphorically, literally. Point 3, build in private. Let the results talk. This one might sting a little, but we have to talk about it. If you're constantly telling people what you're going to do, you're leaking energy. Every announcement before the result is a withdrawal from your credibility account. Kobe Bryant was passed by 12 teams in the 1996 NBA draft. 12 teams looked at him and said, not good enough. He didn't post about it, didn't complain in interviews. He wrote down every single team. And for the next 20 years, he carried that list. He didn't tell people about it until after the championships, after the legacy was built. Sarah Blakely pitched Spanx to every hosiery manufacturer she could find. They all laughed at her, every single one. She never once argued with them. She found the one person who said yes and built $1 billion company. Her response to the doubters? She never gave one. The results were the response. Stop announcing, start building. Let there be a gap between what people think you're capable of and what you're actually doing. That gap is where regret lives. Real quick, if this is hitting different for you, smash that like button. It tells YouTube to push this to people who need to hear it. Point 4, the Hannibal Principle. This last one ties everything together, and it's the one that does the most damage. Remember what Hannibal did at Cannae? He didn't fight Rome's strength head on. He let them think they were winning, let them overcommit, and then use their momentum against them. Here's the psychological version. When someone underestimates you, they stop paying attention to you. They get comfortable. They assume they already know what you're capable of. That is an enormous advantage. Most people waste it. They want recognition now. They want the person to know they were wrong now. So they tip their hand too early. Show their cards before the game is over. Don't do that. Let them underestimate you. Let them look the other way. Let them get comfortable in their assumptions. Because while they're not watching, you're building, you're learning, you're getting sharper. And by the time they realize they were wrong about you, it's too late. You're already past them. Being underestimated isn't a disadvantage. It's a position. One of the most powerful positions you can be in, but only if you're smart enough not to waste it by reacting. You don't make someone regret underestimating you by telling them they were wrong. You make them regret it by becoming someone they can't ignore. Be honest. Who's the person that comes to mind right now? The one who counted you out? Drop it in the comments. Hit subscribe. Next week, we're breaking down the psychology of people who stay calm when everyone else loses it and why they always end up winning. See you there.